One of the benefits of mindfulness is that it not only addresses what we should be doing, but it also looks at how we're being, how we're feeling. So a lot of times we're feeling very anxious at work because we've got a lot to do, we're responsible for a lot of things, there's a lot of details we have to manage, as well as addressing the big picture. So with all of those pressures, we might be feeling some anxiety. And with mindfulness, we can actually, again, slow down internally. Maybe people don't see it on the outside, but internally we can feel that taking of a breath. We can feel that getting in touch with what it is that we're really trying to do here, but from more of an emotional, physical place where we can just gather ourselves, center ourselves, and then speak from a place that's a little bit calmer, more centered, a little bit clearer in our delivery. So when we adopt a mindfulness attitude toward life, we can actually live mindfully, and then we become a role model for others. We find that the brain has what we call mirror neurons, and those mirror neurons actually enable us to copy what others are doing. So if I'm the person who's calming down, the other person might see that, and whether conscious or unconscious, they might also calm down. They might also then start to collect their thoughts. And they might see that I'm appearing to be a lot less threatening than I might be otherwise. So to practice mindfulness, it does take practice. And the practice can take a couple of forms. One form is formal practice, where we set aside all of our tasks. We just sit down and be quiet for a little while, feeling the body breathing. You don't have to control the breath in any way. You don't have to reject thoughts. All you do is just very simply sit there and breathe. And what you're doing is you're disciplining the mind so that it begins to recognize that it doesn't have to be reactive all the time, that it can take a moment to just take a break, feel the breath in the body, and just very naturally calm down, without drugs, without any other substances around you. It's just very, very natural, very organic, just part of the body's natural system of relaxing. And then there are the informal practices. For example, as I'm doing something, I can recognize that I'm starting to feel tense, or I'm starting to feel anxious, or I'm starting to speed up, and then I can just pause for a moment and recognize what's going on. And then I can feel the breath in my body again without actually having to do anything about it. Just feel the breath. And then I can begin to expand my awareness back into the room. So wherever I feel the breath in the body, if I feel it in my belly, in my chest, I can just expand my field of awareness to include the rest of the body, the chair I'm sitting in, and the people around me. So now I can re-engage, but I've taken that moment, a little bit of a pause to recover. So interjecting fun into your work is not necessarily a mindfulness technique, but it's a good thing for the body, because physiologically what you're doing is you're beginning to relax. Instead of working with resistance that's built up in the body against whatever you're doing, you're starting to get into the groove or into the flow of what you're doing, so that now your body and your mind are all on the same page, working together. There are certain things that we don't have control over, and us humans have a difficult time with those things that we don't have control over. So what we can do is, first of all, acknowledge that this is a feeling I have of not being in control. Whether I do have control or not, maybe I don't. Do I have influence? And if I do have influence, which is different necessarily from control, I ask myself, so how much influence do I have in this particular situation? What do I have influence over? So first of all, I want to be present to the moment, to this current moment, because I can project into the future in anticipation of how things are going to go bad. And then I'm going to start behaving as if things are going to go bad, and then things do go bad because I've set it up. So now it's this cause-effect ripple. So instead, what I could do is I could just breathe, get myself grounded in the present moment, acknowledge the feelings I'm having, and then ask myself, so what other choices are there? Maybe I don't have a choice to attend the meeting. Maybe I don't have a choice over how that other person's going to behave. But I certainly have a choice over how I'm going to interpret all of this. I have a choice into how I express myself and what questions can I ask.